Hi everyone, it's Lisa and welcome to Make It Monday. Today is week 22 in my series on dynamic duos where I'm going to teach you 2 projects using the same product. Today is a special day because today is the kickoff of the brand new Stampin' Up! 2014-2015 catalog. And I know you're going to love it as much as I do. So today's project is featuring the brand new stamp set called C Street. The first project today is going to be this adorable card. The front of this card is actually made to mimic a porthole window on a ship. But let me show you how I've created this. I began with a piece of real red cardstock, and this has been trimmed down to 4 inches by 5 1/4 inch. I used my Versamark ink and the really cute image of the school of fish. Now, if you don't know about Versamark ink, it's a watermark ink, and when you use it on your cardstock, it actually changes the color of the cardstock. The difference between this and regular ink on the same colored cardstock, for instance, this is real red. If I had used real red ink, these fish would be a lot more prominent, and I wanted my background to be subtle. The other thing that Versamark is used for is for heat embossing. You pour your embossing powder over it and then heat set it. This is a great product. Now with Versamark, it's very important you clean your stamp right away to get the residue off because it is stickier than normal ink. This front was then mounted on a piece of white cardstock. So this is just the faux front. I cut a piece of designer series paper, and this is 1 inch by 5 1/2 inches. And let's talk about the porthole. I used the Circles Collection framelits, and I number my framelits to make it easy for me to reconfigure a project. So I've numbered them 1 through 10 based on their size, and I've used the ring number 7 just so that you know it is the 4th one from the outside. And this is our 4x6 cellophane bag. You're going to need this, and you're going to need a piece of Night of Navy cardstock. And then I used a piece of designer paper from the brand new package called Maritime. It is so cute. This one has small waves on it, and I've used the octopus image from the stamp set to stamp the image on the designer paper. I used this framelit to cut it out. What I'm going to do next is use my magnetic platform to cut out the circle that I'm going to use to mimic the window. And that's left me with these. Now one of them has the seam from the bag. That one I won't be using, but I'm going to use this one to mimic the window on the front of this image. Next comes the porthole. You'll need the 2 1/2 inch circle punch, and you're going to punch that as far in the center as you can of your cardstock. And it's actually the negative image that we're going to use. So I'm going to go put this back on the magnetic platform to cut this out, and I'm going to get a ring. Neat, huh? Now, while I was on the Stampin' Up! Cruise a few weeks ago, Erica Serwin showed us how to use our cellophane bags to make a faux shaker card. But I decided I didn't want this to be a shaker card. I wanted just to create a window. I like to use my silicone mat whenever I have small areas that are going to require adhesive. Now, I used my snail adhesive, but you may find it a lot easier to use our Tombow multi-purpose glue. This stuff is seriously strong and it's sticky. You're going to want to use it very sparingly around here. The reason I like the silicone mat is because if I use the snail, which I'm going to do in this demonstration, if it goes outside of the ring, you're going to see that it won't stick. So then I'm just going to line this up and press it down. This piece then was just adhered to the front of my card, and then this had adhesive around it that went over the front. Now, on this one I decided to use dimensionals. I don't know if you can see them down inside of there. And I don't think they're noticeable from the front at all. But I wanted that 3D look, but adhesive is fine. And then I pulled off some sequins from our sequin trim, and I individually placed them around the outside using the Tombow multi-purpose glue. That was the easiest way. So I just put literally just a smidge to hold those down. Down here I want to show you this cute little star and the greeting. Comes from another brand new stamp set called Something to Say. So here is the star, here's a heart and a flower, and here is the great thing. We have punches now that coordinate with those. They're called the Itty Bitty Accents Punch Pack, and you do get all 3. So I stamped the star on scrapbook paper, and then I've punched it out and adhered it with a glue dot. Those same words are also in this set, but let me show you the Dynamic Duo. I've done a double-page scrapbook layout using the exact same concept, same papers, same colors, and same stamp set. Now, I'm going to have pictures of these pages on my blog because I know that's difficult to see in the video, but this is the first one. So you're going to see how I created that same porthole window here, but in order to cut down on time, instead of using the sequin, I used the brand new Stampin' Dazzle, this little silver marker, just to make little dots around that circle that I used with the framelits to create that same look. And I want to talk to you about this candy dot. And I'm sure you're thinking, well, Stampin' Up! Doesn't sell silver candy dots. And you are absolutely right. So let me show you what I did. This is from the Neutrals pack. I found the gray ones were the ones I used the least. So all I did was I used that silver dazzler and I went over it, making sure that I covered the whole thing, and I allowed it to dry, which gave me this. This designer series paper was cut 3 inches by 2 inches, and I just made panels. Really a simple, cute layout, but that completes today's Dynamic Duos. Thanks for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you next week for Make It Monday.